Let's create our own sound using GMS in FL Studio. GMS is a Groove Machine synthesizer and it's native to FL Studio, and it comes with, I do believe, almost every edition of FL Studio. So if you have FL Studio, you can follow along, or you can create your own sound using GMS. First thing we want to do is go over here to the program, and I'm going to click on there and I'm hit user, and then I'll hit default, and this is just going to give us our default sound, which is a saw. First thing we're going to focus on here is this little area here is our wave shape. Right now you have 3 different oscillators, oscillator 1, 2, and 3. Currently, the only oscillator that we are hearing by default is this oscillator 1. You can easily pitch this up or down, so we go up about 12 here. Now we get this. We can also pitch it down 12, and we get this. I'm actually going to put this back to 0, and I'll actually pitch it in a different way. You have different ways to pitch it. You can pitch it up here on the keyboard. You can also pitch it right here in this little area as well. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this saw. I'm going to change it into a sine wave. Now we have this sound. What we're going to do is bring in a couple of the voices here first. I'm going to just make it up to 2 voices. Bring the voice up, and it's already starting to get that shape of a bell. Now, if we did take it up a little bit, let's say up to octave. We're getting there, right? Let's turn this detune just a little bit down. I like to mess around with the sync here. What I'll do is I'll hold it and just I'm going to leave it like that. You don't have to do that, but that's just something I'm going to do. Really, the main thing here is the shape of it that we want to do. We want to work on. So we have the attack down here. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. You can barely tell it's been changed. I'm going to take the release and I'm going to turn it up some. And we're going to turn the sustain down a little. Now, if I go here to cutoff and bring this down some, it's going to... Next, I'm going to actually go here to the saw, and this little knob right here controls the oscillator 2, and this one controls oscillator 3. I'm going to bring in oscillator 2 for a quick second. Just a little bit of it. Let's go up. Let's go here to the EQ. I'm going to turn that on, enable it, and then I'm going to boost this just a tad bit. But I'm also going to boost this more. You don't have to do very much more to that. That sounds a lot like a bell to me, but I want to add a little bit of this oscillator here. I'm going to change this to sine as well. I'm going to pitch it down. I'm going to bring it in. Bring the sustain down a little bit more. Now it sounds a little bit more like a pipe bell sound. And if you want to, you can go over here to the reverb, and I'm gonna just kind of play around with this. I haven't glued it just yet. I'm just gonna click on it, and it turns it on for you to test it. You don't actually have to stick with it. So I'm gonna test it a little bit by moving it around. So since I like it there, I'll just hit glue. And it's there every time. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the flanger on here, a flanger, however you like to say it. I'm going to see what it sounds like here. Glue that. Let's cut up some more voices in there. go here to echo, which is just delay. And now we have ourselves a bell. And there's a ton of different ways to create bell sounds and different sounding types of bells. What I'm going to do now is, since I have that how I want it to sound, I'm just going to go over here, hit save preset as. I'm going to go to my bells here, and I'm just going to name it bell 4. And save. And now when you go over to your presets here, it's in your presets. So bell 4. So if I change it to bell 1, there's the first bell, but I can also go back to bell 4, and we have our bell. So that is how you create your own bell sound in FL Studio using GMS.